Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching. Welcome to Coffee Talk Live. I am Rebecca Doster. I am your host this morning, and I am going to be joined by a lovely panel of some of my colleagues, and I will introduce them in just a moment. But before we get started, if you are watching and could give StreamYard permission to use your name, then when you make comments and say hello, we will be able to who you are. If you don't give StreamYard permission to use your name, if you could just type your name along with your comment or your location, we would love to say hello and reach out to you. So this morning, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our panel. First, we have Martine Turcotte. She is all over the place. She's a jet setter. She's currently living in Berlin, but is French Canadian and travels the world. Good morning, Martine. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, afternoon, or good night, everyone. So glad to be here.
We are glad you are here. The next panelist I'm going to introduce to you is Joyce Bezel. She, again, is everywhere. She is living in London. She is French. Good morning, or good afternoon for you, Joyce.
Yes. Morning, Rebecca. Morning, Martine. It's afternoon, actually, in London. Nice to be here.
We are glad you are here joining us. And last but not least, we have the lovely Marina Milekic, who is in Norway. Hello,
Yes.
Marina. How are you?
Hello, everyone. I am doing great. I'm in Norway, and now it's afternoon here, 4 p.m. But I know with you is morning time. Yes.
Yes, I'm the only one that it's morning for. So anyway, we are going to be talking this morning about highlighting your assets to stand out and shine. It is spring. It is time to peel off those layers, time to choose those spring clothes. And of course, spring is a season of renewal, and we all want to put our best foot forward, look our best. We're feeling great. We're feeling optimistic and hopeful. And this morning, this talented team of image consultants are going to share with you their best tips and tricks for standing out and shining. So I know that we had talked beforehand that we were going to kind of use the wrap dress as a jumping off point, but we don't have to just talk about a wrap dress because people wear a lot of things, right? The wrap dress tends to be universally flattering for most women if you get the proportions right. Believe it or not, I actually have a few wrap dresses that don't look fantastic because I'm tall and the proportions are wrong. So I think that that's a great place to start, is knowing your body shape, knowing your proportions, and choosing the right dress. What do you guys think?
I do agree. I do agree. And just to talk about the wrap dress for a quick minute, I realized when I was dressing my customer that if it's not a real wrap dress, you know what I mean? Sometimes they are fixed.
Yes.
But when they are real, the important thing to elongate the silhouette is the diagonal. You know, some of the wrap dress, they cross on the top of the bust. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
And some other just go across. And the one who go across tend to be more flattering.
I really agree with that. And, one thing that when you're trying on these dresses, or even if you're trying on a dress with the ruching at the waist, that diagonal line that those folds of fabric or that V-neck creates is so important. The more straight up, it's not straight, but the steeper the slope, the more slimming it is when it's flatter like that. It makes you wider. That's a great point. I'm so glad you brought that up. What are your all's thoughts about wrap dresses?
Yeah. I will say I completely agree with you, ladies. I never see any body shape that doesn't fit the wrap dress. It goes well on every type of shape. And as you say, I will play with the neckline. And to be honest, someone with a long face and already a long top half may play with superposition. I don't know how to say that in English, but having different layers or, closing it as much as they can. if you got a short half body like me, I will always keep a very open neckline to give me a sense of neck, which I don't have. So yes, the wrap dress is amazing to do that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Playing with that, the width of the opening can really make a difference if you are short torsoed or long torsoed, or short or long from the bust point to the shoulder. Having that more open or more closed can really make a difference. Do you wear wrap dresses, Marina?
Yes, I do, and I agree with all of you that wrap dresses really can highlight our bust. Yes.
Absolutely. The other thing I love about a wrap dress is the fact that it does create that opening, and it's such a great place to put a piece of statement jewelry.
Exactly.
What
I
do y'all
do
think?
agree.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yes. And the colors, I don't know what you think of that, but it's so easy to wear because you don't have to think of a top of a bottom like every dress actually. But if you choose it in a unified color, it can make you look slimmer as well, or shorter if you got already long leg and you want to cut a bit your leg actually to give a bit of movement. I think the length and the color can play a big role as well with those type of dress.
I totally agree. And on that, in the winter time, well, I guess sometimes in the spring, because where I live, the spring, I mean, I'm sure all of you, there are still cool days in the spring or evenings, or if you're out in the morning, using tights the same color as your dress can really lengthen that leg and really give the appearance of taller, longer leg. So that's another great trick. And then the skirt length. You're right. If you want to shorten that leg, bring it down below the knee. If you want to lengthen it, you can put it at the knee, above the knee, at the knee. Maybe right at the knee is not the best place, but right. And then determining the right sleeve, the right neckline. Really, if you know your body shape, I think you can pick just the right wrap dress. If you don't know your body shape, then any one of these lovely ladies can help you determine that. And at various points during the coffee talk, we will have their social media handles flashed up there. You can reach out to them if they are in your area, or if you want to work with them virtually. Does everyone work virtually? I know Martine does.
Yes, I do. I do. It's so easy now. With the COVID situation, we didn't have any choice, and anyway, client doesn't have time anymore sometimes to travel. So yes, virtually is a way to go as well.
So there you go. You can have an image consultant anywhere in the world that can help you determine your body shape, the right sleeve length, the right skirt length, the right skirt shape, all of that. And that will be perfect for you and highlighting your assets. So let's move on into some other ways to really bring out assets and maybe do a little camouflage techniques on things that you may not want noticed. I know, for example, I'm a mom. I've got that mom tummy. I like to kind of play that down. I don't like to show that off. So I have a lot of clients in the same age bracket and they want the same thing. So when I'm dressing myself or them, I try to think about that too. Like what is it that you love about your own figure, your own self, and what do you consider your assets to be? And then what do you want to camouflage and play down? So for example, that full tummy, what are some of your all's best tips and tricks that you would give a client to kind of camouflage that and make it not so noticeable?
Yeah, I have a good tricks. I think if I may start,
Yes, please.
my favorite tricks, and it's good for all my customer. They wants to look taller, slimmer, and younger. Usually,
Don't we
that's
all?
the 3 points. Except for you, Rebecca. I know, but
Oh no, I
usually,
want to look slimmer and younger.
yes, but not taller.
Not taller. Not taller.
So one of my favorite tricks, and it's work for every body shapes. So that's why it's such a good trick, is to dress. For example, I was ready to explain it. For example, you dress the top part and the bottom with black or navy, the same color, whatever the color you choose, you need to have the top and the bottom the same color. And then you cut with a very, very different color, opposite if you can. So for example, I take a white jacket. So it's going to be a very long line in the middle, so you will look taller, and your little belly will disappear because of the blackness or the uniformity. I don't know how to say that.
Yes.
Uniformity of the
Yes.
color, and the contrast is so intense that they won't look in the middle. They will look only the vertical proportion. So this is a very good trick.
I love that, and that is a favorite. And wouldn't you agree that especially if the belly is something you want to play down, a collection of jackets in your wardrobe is such a great tool, such a great trick to have those jackets to pull from, and you can change up your look. Like I have had a few clients that don't really have jackets in their wardrobes, and I'm always surprised. And I always tell them that's the first thing we have to shop for. I love that. I love that. Who else has a good tip, trick?
Yes, this what you just said, Martine, is the best. I think color and harmony between the top and the bottom is great, because as we know, less we separate the color, better the eyes will travel and give this slimmer look. The other trick I will use is really the skinny bits, and I'm sure you know about that, to look slimmer. Anyone, and especially when we are a bit round, the best way, I think, another way to look slimmer is really to look what you got the slimmest in your body. And everyone is just a question of proportion, but normally, how you call it now? I'm looking for the name in English. The wrist, ankles, neck, all that are slimmer on your body comparison. So we should not try to hide and cover too much, but actually advise my around client to show their wrist, show their ankles and neck, because that's the slimmest part of their body. And actually, it will make the impression that they're showing a lot, because now we don't have to have a big a neckline to look sexy, but just showing a bit of neckline, wrist and ankle will make them look slimmer and taller.
I so agree with that. I love that trick, because you're right. Like our wrists, we can gain weight, lose weight. Our wrists kind of stay the same. And you can see those wrist bones, and it does give that hint that you are slimmer. And it does put the emphasis there when you show that, and you're more covered other places. Marina, any thoughts?
Yes, as I'm a hairstylist, so I would just do some highlights. I would just bring some light into the hair, or I would just change the hairstyle. Of course, depends of the face shape, for example, that. And also I would maybe, after, like when it comes to the young mommy, maybe I would be more focused on a top or bottom, or I would just say to them they can have a new interesting shoes. Hello?
I think Rebecca is
Yeah.
frozen.
Yes, yes, but
yeah. So you will attract attention somewhere else, like the feet, for example, the feet.
Yeah, shoes or hair. Yeah,
that's a great.
That's
tip.
such a very good point. We're all going through our life where, and especially after babies, or just gaining weight, or just feeling not good, and those tricks are amazing, just to feel a bit sexier and feminine. Those things we just say are amazing. Oh, Rebecca, you are back.
I'm back. Sorry, internet issues. It is storming here. Sorry about that.
Kein Problem.
Yeah. I hope you kept talking amongst yourselves.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
I was going to say, I love Marina's point about the hairstyle, because that is a great camouflage technique to draw the eye up and keep the focus here on the hair, on the makeup. A great hairstyle that's in proportion with your face and showing that neck, as Joyce mentioned. I think that that is a great technique. Absolutely.
And I also said about shoes, because after, when young mummies, they are going walking around in some parks with the babies, yeah, so they should, I would recommend some good interesting shoes.
Love that. I love that. That's another place to draw the eye away from what you're trying to downplay and make that an asset. And it really does. A great pair of shoes is a great fashion asset. Like, it's really an attention getter and often a conversation starter if you wear interesting shoes. I have found I love interesting shoes. Love them. I'm going to take a moment just to say hello to our audience here. Let's see. We have Jada. Hi, ladies. Hi, Jada. We're so glad you're watching. Oh, we have a Facebook user saying wrap dress all the way. Yes, we have a wrap dress fan. Not sure who that is, but I'm glad that you agree. We love some wrap dresses. Oh, and we have Fariel saying hello. Hello, Fariel. Scroll on down through here. We're getting lots of compliments on our tips and tricks. They're loving what we're saying. Fariel did make the point, jackets are also power dressing. And that is correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fariel says the last trick was not to hide your ankles, wrist, and neck. That is correct. Yes, as Joyce was talking about, show those skinny bits, those limber places. Facebook user, hair color and great cut or trim. Yes. Okay, and someone says very interesting, and they're thanking us for the tips. That's fantastic. We are glad that you are all watching. At the very beginning, I said if you could give StreamYard your permission to use your name, then we would know who you are. Otherwise, just tell us who you are so we can say hello. Tell us where you are from, where you're watching from. I think that's always fun to see where around the globe we have an audience. I love to find that out. And if anyone out there has tips and tricks of their own or questions, we also love questions. If you're wondering about how you can play up a certain asset that you personally have, because we're all different, we would love the question because we're happy to give advice and help out. So let's talk about the use of jewelry. I think this is another great way to play up some assets. What are y'all's thoughts about jewelry, and what recommendations do you make to your clients in terms of choosing jewelry?
I can start if you want, Martine. I don't know who you are.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I was.
What I will look first is really the face shape. I think it's very important to understand your face shape. We are all different, and as we know, as I try to say most of the time, repetition is very powerful. If you identify your diamond face, a round face, there are so many different face shape, but when you identify your face shape, you can try to repeat this shape into your jewelry, and just the fact to repeat the shape, it will be more impactful and make your look more harmonious. So that will be my first tips in terms of jewelry. Just repeat your face shape or any shape you got in your face into your accessories.
I love that. That is a great tip. And I often, on the repeat, the shape, I often teach my clients as well to repeat things like if you have wavy hair, jewelry with a wave or a curve is very flattering. And it does create that harmony. So to also repeat, not it could be a pattern in your clothing, it could be a pattern in your hair, it could be the color of your eyes, but repetition, I totally agree. That's a great tip. Anybody else have a tip on jewelry?
Yes, I have one. In fact, my tips for my customer is to pick an area. If you have big jewelry, maybe go smaller with your necklace. Same thing if you have a lot of bracelet, maybe you don't need 3 cocktail rings. Yeah, that's one of my tricks to look elegant. Yeah. Sometimes less is best.
Yes. Who was it? Was it Jackie Kennedy that said, right before you walk out the door, look in the mirror, or was it Coco Chanel? Look in the mirror and take one thing off so that you're not overdone. I think that's a great tip. Absolutely. Someone says, great tip for wavy hair. That's great. Oh, we have Eleonora from Italy. Hello. We have April Branch. Hi, April. Watching from Virginia. I love that people are everywhere. This is so fun. Marina, do you have tips on jewelry?
No, not really. I agree with ladies, and I would just add we are all different, yes, but we are very unique. We are all
Absolutely.
unique.
Absolutely. And I think that jewelry is one of the easiest ways and also one of the most budget friendly ways it can be to bring your style personality into your look. So if you, for example, have a dramatic style personality, but you need to pare it down for the corporate world, you can wear a statement piece of jewelry as long as it's not too distracting within reason, but it's or carry a great handbag or something like that. But it's a great way to bring in a little bit of the client's personality in an otherwise maybe an area that's otherwise a little bit more restrictive. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Definitely agree. So many women work in main field, and they have to wear those suits to be very formal, and sometimes really nearly have to look like a man to be respected. So, and it's not fair because some of those women are very feminine actually, and would like to show that. And I think jewelry is a very good way to bring a bit of what you are. If you are a romantic woman, even wearing a suit, but adding some earring in heart shape will work and will give you this comfort that you are aligned with what you are. So I think that's a very good point. Play with jewelry. The number is very important, of course, in this corporate and formal area. We keep it down, but at least we bring a bit of what we are, in a sense. Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. And a great place to bring in those shapes, like you just mentioned, a heart shape, or it could be a subtle, small piece of conservative jewelry, but it may have a little shape that hints at something a little bit deeper about who you are. I totally agree. Let's see, do we have any? We still no questions. If anybody's got a question, we would love to answer those. We have lots of comments, though. I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so let's talk about shoes. We've touched on shoes just a little bit, but I feel like that shoes can be a great way to draw the eye somewhere else, to create an asset. You can lengthen a leg, you can bring in style personality. How do y'all use shoes with your clients or yourself to make that big impact?
Well, I love to have statement shoes for my customer. So it's become their mark. Is that correct?
Yeah, trademark. Yeah,
trademark. Exactly. So they love like colorful shoes that goes with all their color analysis.
Oh, great point.
Yeah. So
Great.
everything matched together. So even if I offer them a pink pair of shoes, if it is in their palette, they will wear them over and over. So that's the way I use powerful shoes.
That's a great point. And those shoes, even though the shoes are not up by the face, obviously, when they're in their palette and they're using that 4x4 color palette, that 4x4 color system that we all use, those shoes are going to go with everything else in their closet because it's all in their palette. So that's a great point to make some wonderful outfits. New colorful shoes for spring. Everybody needs to get new colorful shoes from spring. We have a tip from April Branch. Research shows that there is an increase in self-confidence when a person wears a piece of jewelry. Who knew? I didn't know that was a research thing. I believe it. I believe it. I think that that is true. Thank you, April. I love that. She is a fellow Empower Group member, a fellow image consultant and stylist, and very talented. Thank you, April, for chiming in. Okay, our own Rigel has a question. What would you recommend in hiding a big tummy? Okay, so we've talked a little bit about that. The use of the column of color, as Martine brought in, and then so keep it dark or quiet in the middle. Pop on that colorful jacket on the outside. Does anyone else have a tip that would help besides a jacket?
I will say that, first of all, we should try not to be too much self-conscious about the tummy, because we are women, and when we look at ourselves, you will, bend over and see your tummy, but nobody is over you to see what you see. And sometimes we are kind of exaggerate a bit what is being seen by our tummy. So that's the first thing I would say. We should try to distance a bit ourselves and say, actually, people see us face or from the side. My advice will be actually not to attract the eyes, but I think we say it. But, sometimes we think that by wearing a belt, we'll tighten our waist and we will look slimmer. But again, if we have to look at our body shape, if we don't have a waist, there is no point to put a belt, because actually it will attract attention where we wanted the area to look slimmer. So I will say that my first advice will be make sure you have a waist. So check your body shape, and we are here to help if you're not sure about your body shape. But if you don't have a waist, don't wear a belt, or wear it in a way you won't attract attention exactly where you don't want your weight to be shown. That's the first things I will say on that.
That's a great tip, and I love the reminder not to get so caught up in our stomachs or our figure, what we perceive to be a figure flaw, because you're right. Other people aren't looking at that. You're right. Marina, did you have any tips on hiding a tummy?
No, not really, because Joyce, she said everything. Yeah.
Perfect. The other tip I would give is to wear tops that skim the body. Don't wear, lots of times when we think we have a big tummy, we think we have to wear that big tent-like top. And really, it's far more flattering to wear a top that just skims the body. Not tight, but not baggy. When it just skims, no one's really sure what they're seeing. They're just seeing the lovely top and the lovely you. But it camouflages a lot to have something that just skims, and it fits, but not fit tightly, if that makes sense, right? Yeah. Okay, well, we are almost out of time. Ladies, you have been amazing. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and being willing to come on here and be with me and talk about this. I think it's a topic that a lot of people are kind of wondering about, and especially as we're heading into spring. If you are watching and you would love help with your wardrobe, you can reach out to our group. You can reach out to the Empower group, or if you go to the By Fariel not Facebook page, the By Fariel website, there's a whole list of trained, certified image consultants and stylists who would be more than happy to help you virtually or in person. You can find someone in your area, or you can work virtually. And if you are an image consultant and stylist and you are looking for a dynamic community of talented professionals who are focused on success, focused on building their businesses, and truly working together, supporting each other as a team, please send us a message and come visit the Empower Group. We would love to have you in our community. We would love to help you grow your business. Okay, any final words to our audience about style tips?
I want to say thank you, Rebecca, for this invitation. And my dog is start barking, so I may leave someone to talk, and I finish after.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. You're such an amazing host. And thank you for the invitation. And sorry, I how do you say that? go out of my comfort zone with the English. I'm
You did amazing. You did amazing. All of you. English is none of your first language. You guys were amazing. Marina, what's your final tip?
Yes, I also want to say thank you so much for this invitation. English is my third language. And yeah, thank you so much for having me today here. And I appreciate to be in this live with Joyce and Martine. When it comes to the styling, if is I would just say that we should really go for more colors. And if we cannot invest some money right now for some like colors like for our clothes, I can really suggest that we at least can buy some new earrings, lipstick, and some like hairband. I just did 2 days ago. So just like little small tips that we can like spread spread the vibe around and say to people, "Hey, spring is here."
I love that. Yes, and a great way, an affordable way to bring spring into your wardrobe is a new pair of earrings. What girl does not want a new pair of earrings, right? Okay, I am going to sign off for today. Thank you to everyone who watched, who commented, who shared, asked questions. We really appreciate it. If you're watching this in replay, still pop a comment or a message in there, and we will definitely acknowledge it and answer a question if you have one. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.